I remember the day I met the girl of my dreams. I had just begun a new job at McDonald's after moving to the state of Florida. I moved because I had encountered some trouble back home in the state of Georgia, and now had to live in Florida for a year. I had to leave behind my room in the childhood home I loved so much. The home that I love more than anything in the world, except the small country town in which we lived. A town we moved to while I was 4 years old, and I had to leave reluctantly at the age of 16. I was so depressed, and most people would be, because after all, I had to leave my home, my school, my friends, my twin sister, and most devastating of all, a beautiful young girlfriend. I had been in the state of Florida for about 4 months when I first noticed the right front counter crew member with the meanest little attitude and exotic cuteness to match. The small button nose that indicated the Native American heritage that was her lineage. She spoke with an ethnic dialect, and my first communication to her was while turning from the grill to make a special order burger that she wanted on a rush. I made my first burger without instruction or training. "Here you go," I said, as I pushed the burger into her hand. As I looked her directly in her eyes, her voice softened tremendously. I mean, she was the meanest little girl in the world. She had an attitude with everyone, but in that moment, the softness of her heart touched me so deep. "Thank you," was all that she said. And it was all that she had to say for me to know at that very moment that we would be together forever. 2 days later, as a sign of our shared destiny, we would conceive our first child. Did I mention that we were only 16? 16 years old. I was recently in trouble with the law at the time for not going to school and for possessing a weapon within 1,000 feet of school. To top it all off, my new girlfriend, my new boo, was expelled from school herself for fighting multiple times and was working full-time at McDonald's on a work permit. And boy, let me tell you, did we think that was cute. We knew it gave us some sense of street cred that nobody else could have. Try and try again and again, as we might. We could neither see the real world the way that experienced adults saw it, nor could we get our relationship and the cruel world we intended to live in bend to the whimsical nature of our willingness or not willingness to work, save, or even spend on the necessities of life. The love of my life was found by our daughter on this past Memorial Day. She was one of 3 people, our firstborn, now a 14-year-old young lady, found murdered. She was killed by her biological brother, who killed himself the next day in Tennessee in a police standoff. This day will remain seared in our daughter's innocent mind for the rest of her life. I can only hope and pray this tragedy will make her the strongest, most independent woman in the world.